Hello and welcome to USA. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53. We've partnered with Coach Dave Academy to provide these up-to-speed videos for you to hopefully help you learn short tracks a little bit quicker, or if you're a returning driver, just kind of as a quick refresher course to remember some key things about the track. So this week's video is the super late models at USA. It's a combo that we haven't run in a while, surprisingly. I think I was looking back at my notes and it was like a 2023 was the last time we had seen this track. So it's definitely been a little bit. USA is always hyper aggressive. It's one of those tracks where the straightaways are so long that everybody gets so much speed going down them, and then the corners you have to back off so much. You see a lot of heavy braking and a lot of incidents going into turn one and turn three in particular. And there's just not a ton of give and take, it doesn't feel like, at this track, and that really produces um, not the best racing quality, but that doesn't mean that it's not a fun track to run if you get a good group of guys to run with you. So let's dive in here to qualifying. Like we always do, we're going to tire heat. It's definitely worth it to get some heat in those Hoosier racing tires. And I usually do it until I get to that blue line, maybe a little beyond. And then we'll get up through the gears. I'm using my Team 53 custom set here, so we're in third gear for this set. We're going to drive up off the corner and go down the front stretch. You'll see us hit about 130 for speed there going down the front stretch. Lap 1 was definitely my best lap here, so we'll kind of show that. So right up tight up against the wall, packing as much air as possible without hitting that wall. As you come down the front stretch, you get to this set, the second set of hash marks before the corner. That's where you're going to start to turn in. So we're starting really, really early to get turned in. We're on our brakes and getting this car slowed down so we can get it the right side tires below these dash marks here in the corner. And the left sides, we want to be as close to this yellow as we possibly can be from about mid-corner on. So we bring the car in. We're going to get it to rotate. And then as you can see here, just a little bit of float. And then when we come up to here where this yellow line is rubbered up, that's really where we want to concentrate on getting our car down lower, either diamonding the corner and driving it or just pulling it. But you can see here I wait on throttle, and then I get a really, really good drive off here. So we wait on throttle, and then it's just a hard drive off of 1 and 2 down the backstretch to set you up. Here where this wall breaks, right? This is really, really important. So the wall breaks, you're going to kind of use that white line as your guideline. And when you get to this wall where it starts to come back in to meet the track, that's where you're going to brake and definitely going to start to turn in there. And then as you can see there, brake. And then get ready here for turn 3. Similar to turn 1 where we want to get those right sides down, get the left sides as close as we can to that yellow line. Really your goal is to get between this kind of darker black and that yellow or darker gray and that yellow line there to get yourself some grip. I will just kind of ride that. And then once we get to a point where we start to get really good turn off, I usually kind of start thinking about throttle when these are visible, when these hash lines are visible, or when this part here starts to become visible. That's when I start to get on throttle and just kind of hard drive off. You have to catch it a little bit. And there we have a 106. Without that slide, that's probably a 79, maybe an 80. So that slide definitely cost me a little bit. So that's something that you'll want to kind of watch out for. In terms of race trim, race trim here, if you don't qualify on pole, it's all about just using the draft down the straightaways as much as you can and just kind of riding just as hard as you need to and waiting for guys to wreck, especially when guys are trying to pass. I found here, certainly in the late model stock, but a little bit here in the super late model, you can almost give somebody the inside. Um, Particularly in 1 and 2, you can give them the inside and you can get the drive off. In On the outside, 3 and 4 is a little bit trickier where if you get somebody to your inside in 3 and 4 and they get to door, you're almost going to have to just let them go. Just the way the track drives, for whatever reason, it seems like you can fight them better in 1 and 2 than you can in 3 and 4. Take it for what it's worth there. In terms of passing, that's something we'll talk about here as we start to look at race laps. But the big thing for passing is going to be driving it into one and then getting cleared by center of the corner. Going to look very similar to qual, maybe a little bit freer. Getting good runs up off the corner. That's a lot of times where I'll find good passing zones is if guys are a little too aggressive on throttle, particularly coming off a 2 or off a 4, they'll kind of start to get loose and they'll have to lift, and then you can just shoot right past them down the backstretch. You show them, bottom, you'll get them going into 3. Um, that seems to work really, really well for me. Certainly, guys, if they're a little bit too tight or if they're on the iRacing setup, particularly, corner exit will be a little bit tighter after about 5 to 8 laps. So if you're just patient and you wait behind them, you're going to be able to get them to push up into the wall and you'll be able to drive right past them. But yeah, race trim is going to look very similar to qual trim in terms of where you put the car, how you drive it, where you drive it. And then once the tires heat up, that's really where you can start to be aggressive. You see me there just right on that yellow line, driving it up off the corner. Got into the wall there a little bit, just, trying to catch a little bit too close to the wall there, but the setup's fairly balanced. It should be fairly well. If you start to feel like you're getting tight after about 10-15 laps, look at raising your track bars evenly. That seems to be the best kicker, or giving yourself a little bit more rear stagger will sometimes help that as well. But if you need anything, I'm available in the Coach Dave Discord. I'm in the Team 53 Discord. Link to the Team 53 Discord is in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great week.